High energy. Okay, it's time for a sweet treat. So for our sweet treat today, we are going to be making the honey spice cake from The Witcher 3, specifically from the Blood and Wine DLC. You can find the recipe for this honey spice cake during the mission called Spontaneous something, I think. Spontaneous Profits, maybe? I don't know. You find it during a mission in the Blood and Wine DLC. This was also the winning recipe for the poll that I hosted on my YouTube and my Threads account. This ultimately was the winning vote across all of the recipe choices. I'm very excited because it looks very good and I really like these kind of spicy cakes. Oh, also, this video is dedicated to my two new biggest fans, Jack and Belle, who are my friend Emmy's dogs, because I learned that they watched one of my videos and that made me very happy. So this video is dedicated to Jack and Belle. Now we're going to get baking. Couple caveats to this recipe. One, I don't bake very often, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. I am practicing, but I really only decided to start my baking journey this year. So this is like the fourth baked item that is not just chocolate chip cookies that I have made. The second caveat is this recipe has been adapted for modern times. The original one in the game, the recipe uses spelt flour, and I am using regular AP flour, all-purpose flour. This is primarily done so that way the recipe can be finished all in one day. If you're using the spelt flour recipe in the game, it needs about 2 weeks to sit in the fridge and like chill and ferment. And I don't want to wait that long. So we're doing it this way so we can have cake tonight. So The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is quite obviously the third game in the Witcher game series. It is an open world third-person game and it follows the Witcher novels. The whole entire world of The Witcher is based on Slavic folklore, but you control Geralt of Rivia. He is essentially, to simplify a very complex world, he is a monster slayer for hire. He is known as a Witcher, and in the third game, he is actually on the search for his adopted daughter, Ciri, who is on the run from the Wild Hunt. All right, so there's a pot because we need to heat some things up, but the entire ingredient list for the cake is we need the zest of 1 orange. We need half a cup of sugar. We need 1.5 cups of, in this case, all-purpose flour. We need half a cup of honey. You can use any honey that you want, but I saw in a lot of traditional Polish recipes, they use buckwheat honey, and so I got some fancy buckwheat honey. You need 2 tablespoons of any type of fruit, jam, marmalade, whatever your heart desires, but we are using apricot. You need 1/4 cup of butter and then some butter for the chocolate glaze. Half a cup of milk, 2 eggs. You need 1 tablespoon each of baking powder and baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, half a teaspoon each of nutmeg, allspice, and cloves, and then 1/8 teaspoon of ground cardamom. And then you also need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. For the chocolate glaze, you're going to use some of that butter earlier, and you are also going to use half a cup of sifted powdered sugar and 1 tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa powder. So, into a pot, we are going to add half a cup of sugar, of white regular sugar. We're also going to add half a cup of honey. This is just pure raw buckwheat honey. You know what I should have done before I did this? I should have very slightly coated my spoon with a very thin layer of oil, so that way the honey just slid right out. That's a pro tip. Honey in. I don't really think I've made a lot of cakes where I have to heat something up, so this is already new for me. I have forgotten the next step. Oh, butter. This is half a cup of butter, half a stick. And then we need 2 tablespoons of, no! 2 tablespoons of apricot jam in my case. Whatever fruit jam you want. I need to get a spoon. Okay, I got a smaller measuring spoon, half a tablespoon, so 4 of these guys. So 1. These aren't exact because I'm just not being exact. Okay, 2 total tablespoons of the fruit jam / marmalade of your choice, and then the zest of one orange. Actually, I'm very excited because I really like citrusy, spicy foods, and it may be summer, and this may be perfect for the holidays, but we're gonna do holiday flavors in whatever month we're in, May. Boom, easy, done. You can save the orange and eat this for later. You can save the orange for later to eat. And then we are going to heat this up over medium-low heat. And once it actually starts melting, we'll be able to stir it. It's about halfway melted now, so I'm just gonna give it a little stir to help all the sugar along. Oh. Okay, well, yes, it needed a stir. The butter is obviously melted, that took no time at all, but we do need to wait for all of the sugar to actually melt and dissolve. And there are still a couple pockets of undissolved sugar, so we wanna make sure this is all melted before we move on to step 2. Okay, so this is beautifully melted. Everything is nice and dissolved and smelling very good. Love the orange. And so now we're gonna just take this off of the heat and set it to the side while we mix all of our dry, I guess, and our wet ingredients. Mix all of the other ingredients. And then we'll add this after it's cooled a little bit. Okay, so this honey butter mixture off the heat, setting aside so we don't pour molten lava into our dry ingredients. But in a bowl, add the 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And then we're adding all of our spices. Again, that is baking, well, these aren't spices, but baking powder, baking soda, and salt. And then the cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, cloves, and cardamom. That's all in. And then before you add, we can add the milk, but before you add the eggs, you want to just lightly beat them before you add them in. I don't know why, but I've been told that that's appropriate. Maybe it's because we're mixing it by hand, and which is fine. I don't think this is a recipe that requires a mixer, which is excellent because I don't have one. So we're hand mixing all the way. Okay, eggs beaten in. My hand is covered in egg. I'm trying to ignore it, but I can't, so pause, clean hands. Just gonna give the dry ingredients here a little stir, and then we're gonna add the honey butter mixture. If you have not played or read The Witcher, what the hell is wrong with you? You are missing out on an absolutely fantastic set of storytelling. This smells amazing. I mean, how could it not, right? With all the spices and everything, but it literally smells like the holidays. It's perfect. All right, now that this is beautifully mixed and my arm has gotten a workout, we are pouring this into a loaf pan that is sprayed with oil cooking spray. If you have parchment paper, you can do that. I just don't, so we're going cooking spray method. I don't know what size loaf pan this is. This is just a standard loaf pan. Remember when I said I don't bake? I don't know the sizes of anything I have for baking. Okay, so this is going to go into an oven at 355 for about an hour, 50 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted into the middle of the cake comes out clean, the top is golden, and it'll look very nice and pretty And then we can make the chocolate glaze and finish it when it's all perfect, which is the goal. Perfection.
1 hour later.
Okay, the cake has come out. It is dark. I don't know if that is from potentially overcooking or just the buckwheat honey, because it does say that it like makes the color of baked items dark. So fingers crossed it's just the honey. But we're gonna make the chocolate glaze now while this cools down a little bit. So this is a 1/2 cup of sifted powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar, same thing. And then 1 tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa powder. Then this is a tablespoon of boiling water and a tablespoon of melted butter. All in, mix it, and hopefully this is normal and this makes sense and it will create a glaze. I don't know. It is creating a sauce, so I guess that is what we want. Okay, all right, I feel confident now that this looks okay. It is quite runny, which is not what I have in mind when I have glaze in my head, but that's fine, I guess. And then we're going to cut the cake in half, and then we're gonna add a layer of the apricot jam that we mixed into the batter into the middle of it. You don't have to do it, but I was doing a little bit of light reading while it was baking, and I saw that that is just traditionally what they do for this gingerbread spice cake. I don't think I said this, but this is based off of a traditional Polish recipe for essentially like a gingerbread spice cake. I don't know how to pronounce it, but if I go off of the way that the word is spelled, it's piernik. So when I say traditionally done, I mean traditionally in Poland, not in The Witcher. I have no idea how they traditionally do things in the game. Not really a glaze. Like a glaze is much thicker than what this is, but that's what the recipe said. So we're just gonna go with it. And I don't know enough to say that that's not right. It's cool enough for me to touch, but probably we're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut it. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna get a cutting board. That makes more sense, actually. We're gonna get a cutting board. We're gonna cut it, put the jam on. Chocolate sauce is what I'm calling this now, over the top. Try the cake. Hold, please. Okay. Cutting board acquired. All right. I'm relying on my history of watching the Great British Baking Show to get me through this. Well, it smells fantastic. Jam, okay. Look at that, it looks good. I feel like this looks like a loaf cake. Proud of that. And this way, it'll be nice and warm, it'll soak in. I actually, do you know what? I actually don't like jam. I don't really like hot fruit things of any kind, and I really don't like jelly or jam or anything, so, but I'm sure this will be delicious. Okay, flipping the top back on. I'm not gonna lick my fingers. This is just, okay. Okay. I don't love, this isn't a glaze. I just want to point this out. Not a glaze. A glaze should definitely be thicker, but we're just gonna roll with this because this is what the recipe said. So, but know that I do this under protest. See, like it should be like like thicker, like between this and like frosting. Whatever, I'm doing it. Cake, honey spice cake. It has both honey and spices, and it is a cake. with chocolate water poured over the top, essentially. Okay, not happy with the glaze. A glaze this is not, but it smells great. So I do obviously want to try it. And this is perfect timing because while this was baking, we had dinner and now I am ready for dessert. So I can't touch it because of the chocolate. I'm having a time here. Okay, I need a fork. It does smell like quite strongly of spice, and I was worried actually that this was overcooked, but the inside of the cake actually looks fine. So I think it's okay. That is very good. It would be much better with an actual glaze and not just like this chocolate water nonsense, but, oh wait, hang on. That's the move. Okay. I guess you could like poke it, turn it into a poke cake. Were this actually a glaze? Fantastic. In the absence of a glaze, and if you two made sweet chocolate water, just use it as a dip. But this is actually a really good cake. This would be perfect for the holidays. And I think the overall flavor profile, like between the type of spices that are used and having the orange zest in it, I think you could use a variety of fruit spreads. It definitely doesn't have to be apricot, although I do really enjoy the apricot. I think it would be good with, I don't like it, but I feel like it would be good with cherry, like a cherry marmalade. It would be good with, ooh, I feel like a blackberry would be good, actually. Or a Marionberry. I like Marionberry better than blackberry. If I had to pick, it wouldn't be good with grape. That's my one, I don't think, or strawberry. I don't think it would be good with either one of those. Orange marmalade, fantastic. That is very good, perfect holiday. I think it would be great in the morning with like a cup of coffee. So this is what I will be having for breakfast tomorrow with my cup of coffee. So yeah, I would say that this was a 90% success because A, the cake turned out great, not overbaked as I was afraid it was going to be. And I think the actual baking and flavor of the cake I did very well on. The chocolate glaze leaves a lot to be desired, so I'll fix that for next time. This was great. Thank you guys for hanging out for kind of a long sweet treat o'clock, but we got there in the end. So let me know if you make this. Let me know if your chocolate glaze turns out better than mine, and I will see you all in the next video.